Welcome to the Sideboard. My name's Eric, and today we are going to be playing some Jund Gods. Jund Gods, Jund Energy, Jund Vehicles. It kind of meets all of those criteria. So let's take a look at the deck. If you've already seen the deck tech, I'm going to be just going over it really quick. And then if you haven't seen the deck tech, there should be a description in the video link below. So we've got 4 Aether Hubs to help round out the mana, 4 Blooming Marsh, 4 Forest, 3 Mountains, 4 Rootbound Crag, and then 2 Swamps. And then for early or for turn 1, we're going to be casting Attune with Aether. We don't have any other turn 1s. We're not going to be casting Blossoming Defense on turn 1. It's a protective card. And then we have some removal in a singleton copy of a Braid, and then 4 Harness Lightnings, some unlicensed Disintegration. You can even count Glorybringer as removal. Ronus being able to block with Death Touch, things like that. And then for early creatures, we've got 4 copies of Longtusk Cub, Voltaic Brawler. Not technically a creature, but Heart of Kiran, and this is kind of the secret to this whole deck. The entire deck's actually built around Heart of Kiran and clever ways to crew Heart of Kiran through a meta with a fairly heavy board wipe. Now, granted, our matchup against Temur Energy is not the greatest, but our matchup against absolutely everything else is awesome. So, and that's kind of the meta right now. You're either Temur Energy or you're not. And this deck is kind of hoping to prey on everyone that's not playing Temur Energy. And then we've got Scrap Heap Scrounger as a 3-of because it's really good to crew Heart of Kiran and it's a recursive threat. And then for our 3-drop, we have Ronus the Indomitable. Most of the time we're going to just be playing a 2-drop. And then hoping to keep up like Blossoming Defense. There's definitely some argument to having some Fatal Pushes in the deck, and that might be a direction we'd want to go just to reduce the curve a little bit more, so that we can get more cards out of our hand. And the reason for that would be because we do run 3 copies of Hazoret the Fervent. However, this is not your typical Hazoret deck. We use it because it's one of the best cards that we can use to keep Ronus the Indomitable online, and it's extremely good at crewing Heart of Kiran even when you still have cards in hand. And it's really hard to remove, so Hazoret ended up taking the spot in this deck for that reason. And then we have 2 copies of Bristling Hydra and 2 copies of Glorybringer. Now, these 2 don't really need much of an introduction, more of an explanation of why we have 4 other high-costed creatures in the deck when we do have Hazoret, and that's mainly because, again, we're not really a Hazoret deck. We're not necessarily trying to get Hazoret online. We want Hazoret because he is really hard to deal with, and he can crew Heart of Kiran and activates the Ronus the Indomitable for us. But there is the fact that eventually, because we don't have ways of drawing cards in the deck, eventually we are going to run out of cards, and Hazoret is going to come online, and he is a serious potential threat or potent threat at that point. The sideboard, we've got some answers for everything in Duress. Everyone knows Duress is just great card. Now, we're not really heavy on black, but we do have sources to go search that up. We can create black with Attune with Aether and things of that nature. One of the hardest cards in our deck to cast is Lost Legacy, but unfortunately we have to have it as a good answer to approach the Second Sun. Either that or we just need to outrun that deck. And Duress really helps out because we need to be able to snag those early removal spells from their hand. So these 2 will come in against Approach of the Second Sun. And then we've got a couple more copies of a Braid in case we run into aggro eccentric decks, vehicles, Heart of Kiran, other Heart of Kiran decks, Panharmonicon decks, Godpharaoh's Gift decks, Oketra's Monument decks. There's just a lot in the format right now, so we definitely want to have good answers for those. Aether Sphere Harvester for some lifelink against tokens matchups, Whirler Virtuoso matchups, Rampaging Ferocidon, a way to deal with some enchantments. The Lost Legacies we've already mentioned. Hour of Glory, it's a lot cheaper than Vraska's Contempt, and it's single black. That was a worry in this deck because we don't have a lot of black spells, but we needed a way to deal with opposing hazards and things like that other than just trying to block them. So, you know, we want to be aggressive, so we want to be able to just remove them. And this is another way to guarantee that if we do remove a single Scarab God or hazard or something of that nature, that they don't have another. And then a singleton copy of Chandra, because there are, you know, moments where, especially in control matchups and stuff, we want a threat that when we land it, we can get reusable resources out of it. So, you know, Chandra is just another resource we can add. And then Sky Sovereign Console Flagship as kind of the honorary third glory bringer. So that's the deck. Let's get into some matches here. So today we're just going to be playing 3 queues, and we'll kind of go from there. And welcome to the channel, everyone. Fifth Moon, hello. Leos, hello. So I'm hoping to run into pretty much anything other than Temur Energy. We'll see how it goes. I don't know. Temur Energy is such a major part of the field right now that, you know, leagues are almost not worth playing unless you build a deck that is just built to defeat Temur Energy. And that actually might be a route we end up taking. I know this weekend I want to revisit a few of the Grixis decks. I didn't have a really good showing when I played them, and you know, I've tested with them a little bit since then, and they just seem to play much better than we had them play online. So we're going to revisit Grixis this weekend with 3 different Grixis decks. We're going to be running Sergio's, the Grixis mid-range. There is a bit of a delay there, sir. Hold on, let me check. Let me fix this really quick. Man, that is a huge delay. You're right. Alright, so we can hub into Green Source, Long Tusk Cub, Ronus, or we can hub into Green Source, Heart of Kiran, Ronus, save these threats for later, or make him remove Long Tusk Cubs. Delay a little bit, so I'll quit dropping frames on you guys. Okay, alright, we just hit a green right off the top. So what are we going to do with this forest? I think we just play the Forest Play Attune so that we just save the Aether Hub. And that it may end up being our... Man, now we can just go get red. Oh, I like it. So, that was a really good top deck for us. We're going to grab the red source. And we're just going to pass turn. So, now I really want to go with the Long Tusk Cub. Just get that out. What is this? A search for a treasure map. Okay, so it's plausible that we're playing against a Marionette Master deck. Okay, so we have a really good Long Tusk Cub hand here. It would be even better if we had... So, do I get Heart Ronus online? I think it's more damage that way. Heart. How do we dump our hand the quickest? So next turn we want to play a 1-drop and a 2-drop, or play the... because that would empty our hand quicker, so we don't necessarily want to go Ronus right now. Or do we want Ronus and then just hazard it online like we drew it up? I think that's what we want to do. Just play it like we drew it up, and then we can follow up later with long tusk cubs that are just almost impossible to answer. So yeah, next turn we're going to Ronus, and then turn 4 we will... Man, that seems bad. No, turn 4 we still just hazard it, and we keep getting the lands too. Do we want to dump the hand, or do we want to go for... I want to go for the setup because that's the way we drew the deck up. That's how we designed the deck to play. I want to at least attempt that line of play. However, with him having 3 mana up, it makes me think that whatever we play is about to get countered. So I kind of want to take the 2 mana route and dump cards out of my hand. Let's do that. So we play around Censor here, but not so anything we would have played there would have gotten countered. So maybe there's a better argument for just playing Scrap Heap. We want our black source. Maybe. We're not really heavily in the market for energy anymore. Double red might prove to be better. Okay, well, we'll pass the turn. So, Supreme Will doesn't necessarily make me think we're against some Marionette Master deck, but more of a control deck wanting to use like Treasure Map for some advantage. He doesn't have a stop in his upkeep though to activate his Treasure Map. Is he going to pop this for a... Okay, he wants a black source. We'll do the same. Or should we just grab double green now? Nah, we'll grab our black source. So this leaves up Treasure Map Fatal Push for him. That's not horrible for us. So here we can Long Tusk Cub and Scrap Heap Scrounger. I really want to try the Scrap Heap first. And we'll just use both the red sources for that. So he's going to scry. Now this does help us dump our hand. And then we will crew. We'll play Long Tusk after combat. Finally getting some damage in. And we'll pass the turn. Okay, so he's going to scry again. He's not doing it in his upkeep before his draw. Curious. So next turn we play land, Ronus, activate Heart. He makes some blockers. So Marionette Master. We're back on Marionette Master now that we've seen this. There's double green. Yeah, we'll play the Ronus here. Maybe we should have played Hazard, because we were just going to crew with either one, because next turn we would have been able to play Ronus and then activate Hazard. Yeah, I think that actually might have been the better line to play. Play Hazard, knowing that he wasn't going to be able to swing, because we're crewing here anyway. Should have done it. Sorry. Okay. And I think we just swing with everything here. I don't see any reason to not. I am worried about just next turn dying. It could be very problematic for us. However, if he just has chump blockers, then we're in a fairly good spot here. And next turn we'll have 2 mana. Like if we draw a 2 mana card, we can play Hazard and that card. Again, not in his draw step, or not in his upkeep before his draw. I mean, if he knows he's going to do it and it's the first thing he did. Okay. Depending on our draw, we are setting up for a really hefty hit here. That's good for us. And we will crew with a scrap heap. He's got 4 blockers, 3 block. Okay, so he can block these guys. We definitely need to do it because we need him to put bodies in front of us. If we destroy one of them, I think we let him block. Him assign blockers here. Yeah, we'll do that. I think we need to kill Marionette Master in response to its trigger, so I want to leave that available for us. We're still at 20. If he resolves a Marionette Master and we kill it in response to its Fabricate trigger, we'll be in a pretty decent shape. And then next turn we get to start giving trample to things, and that should lock it up. So did everyone have a good Thanksgiving? Everyone get full bellies. All right. Well, I'm gonna let that go as our turn. The Wall, what's up, buddy? Oh, you didn't have to work for Thanksgiving. Congratulations on that. I understand that, you know, no one wants the world to just kind of shut down when you know, a holiday happens, but no one wants to work on it either. I had to make a short trip, couple-hour drive, you know, and then other than that, we just got to eat some really good food with our family and just kind of go from there. All right, so we're going to braid this. And now he can fabricate, make dudes. And we're in a pretty good position here. That's not horrible either. So we've got 1, 2, we don't really need to play this, because I would rather just give trample to multiple things. And we will crew though. And we attack with everything, and we'll see how he blocks, and then we'll go from there. And he scoops it up. We'll go into game 2. So Marionette Masters. We did, I did anyway. I had a really good time. I got to see some family, good conversation. My son, the last time he got to see his grandparents were, he didn't really have a lot of personality yet. He was, quite young. So they're back in town, or nearby anyway, so he got to spend some time with his grandfather and grandmother and aunts and uncles, and good times. Well, aunt, but all right. We definitely want a braid. Harness lightning's okay. Bristling Hydra, we don't necessarily need that. What else do we just really, really want? Rampaging Ferocidon, looks like he had a lot of those. We'll go Rampaging, which is another 3-drop. Don't 100% think we need Scrappy here, which leaves me a little bit more room. This is increasing our cost though, putting us closer to his. Should we just bring in Lost Legacy and just call Marionette Master? That might be the right route. I'll drop a Harness Lightning. Better yet, Unlicensed. And then we'll run it like this. He is, well, he will be 1 in January, so he's almost 11 months. Long Tusk Cub, kill everything. Try to get the Glorybringer. Is that even plausible? I think we want like Voltaic Brawler, Heart of Kiran. Like we want to pressure him. So I don't think this is quite enough. Oh no! Horrible hand. Going to 5. Should have kept the first hand. Should have kept the first hand. At least we could have played everything. That's horrible on my part. Well, and there's our Voltaic Brawler. Forest off the top. We get a forest off the top. We can play some magic here. No forest. Oh, it's brutal. Oh man, it's so bad. Mulligan to 5, keep a 1-lander. Okay. At least we got this, and we can get this Long Tusk down. Man, don't really want to do Long Tusk. If he's got a kill spell, I would rather do Brawler. Yeah, I think we're gonna go for Brawler because either one we're left without green. So if it's a kill spell, we get Brawler, we get 2 energy. If it's a counter, well, we were in a bad spot either way. Yes! Alright. Woo, okay, we picked the right one. So now we can at least have green mana for Long Tusk up next turn if we need it. Our other option was we were going to be stuck till he played a creature and then we would Harness Lightning that creature. And that wasn't going to be terrific for us. Well, he's definitely on the go here. It's pretty good for us. I'm actually going to go with Rampaging Ferocidon this turn. It maximizes the use of my mana a little bit better. So next turn, if I do draw a, and we still only had 3 power to add to the board this turn, but next turn if we have to, okay, Fatal Push. So it would have happened to the Cub either way. There were a couple other things we were kind of playing around there. Mainly just trying to maximize our use and playing into drawing a land next turn. He's definitely got a decent control hand, and that is fair for us. That is not fair for us. So he will get to make a 5/5 every turn. Okay. We took it up. Well, that's a thing. So we can't use this one anymore. Mechanized production. Do we just abrade it? Sure. And we'll pass. I mean, for a mulligan to 5, yeah, we're not really fighting back really well, but at least we are fighting somewhat. And this is permanently a 5/5, right? Man, we really needed a land. I guess we just kill the 5/5. I mean, until we can get rid of Tezzeret here, this is... If we could get rid of Tezzeret, he's only got 2 cards in hand. It's plausible that we could deal with everything here. So we've got a Harness Lightning for this one. We've got 3 turns. We've got a Harness Lightning this one. We need a land. We need an artifact. Okay, so there's a land. We have Harness for this. Thankfully, we did draw the proper land so that we can cast this Unlicensed Disintegration. We're going to need to draw a Heart of Kiran off. Still not enough. We need a Heart of Kiran and land. Okay. At least they're coming in summoning sick. We are going to go ahead and burn this. Does he have counter for it? He's going to spell swindle. It's probably going to spell doom for us. So he swings 10 this turn because those no longer have summoning sickness. And that'll put us dead on crackback. Yeah. Oh, he did the wrong one. Did that give us an extra card? Hi, Brian. Welcome to the stream. Well, we got a land. What does that mean for us? Jack Diddley. We killed Tezzeret. He swings 15 anyway. Yep, scoop it up. Okay, game 3. I'm just happy we're not playing Tamer Energy. Okay, so we've got Scrap Heap Scrounger maybe back in the deck. That was just kind of a really bad hand. I kind of like the way we have everything lined up here. Maybe not the Rampaging Ferocidons, but it is a 3 mana and he does have to create Revolt to play it. I think I'm going to take out a Glorybringer for the Sky Sovereign. Just because we'd be able to, you know, ping more often. Sky Sovereign actually may be a better card in this particular deck. Maybe I should embrace the vehicles part of the deck a little bit more. Okay, so we get a decent hand. We're on the play. We're going to keep this. We get to, you know, turn 1, just go get Black Source, and then we'll just have our colors. Turn 2, Voltaic Brawler. I mean, because we can go get the other color on 3 on whatever we need. So now we just have color sources. Which means we shouldn't be taxed on our energy for mana production. Okay, so he's got a kill for this, so we'll let him use it. And we'll just pass the turn and he'll Fatal Push. Yep, there it is. So with Unlicensed Disintegration, maybe I definitely should have thought about, you know, leaving in the Scrap Heap Scroungers. So against Planeswalker decks, definitely want to consider Scrap Heap Scroungers a little bit more. That was a misplay. That was a straight misplay. Punt. So instead of playing the Black Source, I should have played Attune, get a green, play Long Tusk Cup. So now we're not going to be able to attune this turn. We can present, you know, a red burn or something like that. Maybe it should have been better to present Fatal Push. Okay, that's fine for us. Supposing he doesn't have Spell Pierce, we should be okay here. I think I want a second green source. We'll play that. And I want to keep the Abrade for problematic problematic artifacts that he might have in this deck. So we're going to pump old Long Tusk Cub and get in. We've got no reason to keep our energy unless he's got like unsummon. We should be fine here. So we're swinging 5. That's a really good clock, which, you know, everyone knows that's exactly what Long Tusk Cub can do. Our little mana punt on 3 didn't end up hurting us, but I still feel bad about it because, you know, I shouldn't have made small mistakes like that. Ooh, wow. Well, we're not casting it right now, but that's nice. Do we abrade? Nah. We just get in and make him block. Contraband Kingpin. That's unlicensed disintegrationable. Although I really would like to keep the unlicensed for another turn till after we've Sky Sovereign Consul Flagship, but may not be possible. Yahini. I'm going to abrade Yahini here. If he eats other creatures, I'm okay with that. Oh, he ate the attacking one. Alright. Attune, that's pretty good for us. Now, this is the reason we had to put the second black source in the deck, so that we could actually go fetch it up the double black. So that actually came into play. That was relevant. I think we just go for Marionette Master this turn. Alright, so we'll do that. Still waiting on the opponent here. Okay. Okay, so he actually only has one Marionette Master in the deck. So let's look at how he's planning to kill us. Toolcraft Exemplars, Tezzerets. Tezzeret Control, okay. And in his hand he only has a single Field of Ruin. So we deal with the board. We're in a pretty good spot. Okay, I like it. We don't have to worry about any surprise. We're dead now. And I'm going to swing. So now he's running out of creatures he can save the Yahini with. Although Yahini would have made a really good blocker, but he wanted to get in for the 2, and now he wants to do it again. We're okay with this race. I'm going to cast it on the Yuhini because, you know, that's the only thing we can actually threaten with 3 points of damage. And if Yuhini actually eats Contraband Kingpin, which he did not, and then we'll just pass the turn. So next turn we get to like Voltaic Brawler, Crew, Sky Sovereign, Console Flagship. However, we can't do that and leave up Unlicensed Disintegration if we don't have another red source. But I am still going to go for that line so that we can swing for 11, and then we can also do 3 damage to something. There's a perfect follow-up to... Oops. It's green. My bad. And then we'll crew this. And attack. So Sky Sovereign was definitely what we were looking for there with the... Okay, so I said crew 11, but not the case. Or swing 11. I said crew 11. Wow, 14 points. That's pretty good. Didn't realize I had that much energy built up. Okay, so he exiles all the graveyards and scoops it up. Okay, well, that was game 1. Let's jump into another here. So is everyone going to Friday Night Magic, or you're displaced, you're out of town, or just kind of chilling for the weekend? Well, we're just waiting on an opponent. Hopefully we'll get one here in just a moment. I guess we could just go find the regular queues. We could do that. Constructed play, tournament practice. And then we'll just find somebody here. No one's playing Magic? What's going on? I can't seem to get an opponent. There we go. Okay, so we won the dice roll. We'll choose to go first. We have a keepable hand. We'll have to turn 3 the attune with Aether, but we do get to drop a Long Tusk Cub without fear of losing it, as we have a redundant copy. Pretty good hand. It's not exactly how we wanted the land base to roll out, but it's acceptable. Okay, so Sacred Cat. Don't want to abrade the Sacred Cat. And then we'll just pass the turn here. More times that I see Sacred Cat, most of the time there's a artifact that's worth killing somewhere. Well, that's nice. However, I think I'm just going to attune, which will allow us to swing into so we're definitely hitting a roadblock here. We don't need a second red source yet. I'm just going to get the forest. We'll play the forest. Although we should have maybe played the No, we swing with everything here, don't we? Or we just swing, and if he triple blocks, then we take that. Okay, so we're not actually going to pump because we'll take 1 point of damage on first strike, and we'll live, and then we'll put in 2 points of damage to kill both of these in normal, or strike damage, I guess. So no point in pumping. It would die either way. There we go. And now we get to play our redundant copy. Oops. I got ahead of myself. Play our redundant copy of Longtusk Cub, and we'll pass the turn. I don't think I want that damage block right there. Serenity, hello. Alright, another Adorned Pouncer. And Sacred Cat. So this time, yeah, we just do it again. We will abrade the cat, be done with that. Counter on our cub, and we'll pass the turn. Okay, so he does need 5 mana to be able to start bringing these things back, and we do have good kill for those. And if he doesn't get to put out a really good threat here soon, then we should be able to... Oh, that's good. So we'll kill that. Oh man, we can't do both. Well, we'll swing and see if he just takes it. And looks like he does. So we definitely don't want him exerting that. And we'll pass the turn. As much as I wanted to be able to get the Heart of Kiran out there, I didn't want him to be able to exert. And he spends his entire turn here. So we unlicense again. Get in with the cub. We'll go ahead and pump the cub. No point in being coy about it. Now next turn we get to Heart of Kiran and cub. Granted, he gets another Adorned Pouncer here. And we are going to kill the last Adorned Pouncer with our cub. We will lose the cub. So this is slightly bad for us to do it this way, but it'll save our Blossoming Defense. And if we have to, like if we use Blossoming Defense to kill here, it wouldn't be a lot different from using the Blossoming Defense to crew next turn. Although, you know, that doesn't mean we won't get some sort of energy source or something like that. That is pretty good. Not what we were looking for. This feels bad. So maybe I should have used the Blossoming Defense to kill the creature last turn so we would have had an everlasting 3/3. Green white cats. Ouch. Wow. Wow. That's and we draw a land. Well, we cannot defeat that. I don't think our other card would have allowed us to defeat it either. So let's see what we have here. Sky Sovereign's going to be amazing. Chandra's going to be amazing. Rampaging Ferocidon is exactly what we're looking for. More kill, not really worried about. Blossoming Defense. What else can we shave down? Scrap. Ooh, no. But we can use these as kill. I hate taking Scrappy out after that last game. You know, it just felt bad. But we didn't have Scrappy that time, and he was in, so. Maybe cut a Hydra? I definitely want to see Ronus in my opening hand. I think we're going to run it like this. Possibly some argument for the Aether Sphere Harvester just to give us another flyer. And we will play first. Okay, so we can keep this. It's a little land heavy, but yeah. And we'll just pass the turn. So next turn we'll Rootbound Crag into the Voltaic Brawler and kind of go from there. And then next turn we can play... Do we even want to play Shelter Thicket? We're at 4 lands right now. We might want to hang on to this to cycle it. Man, he gets that opening draw again. So this time we're just going to... We're going to Shelter Thicket, play Harness Lightning, swing. Yeah. Because next turn we're going to Chandra, kill something, I guess. Chandra mana, cycle. Okay, so if we just play this, we can play Chandra and add mana next turn. Like, we keep that open for us. So if we wanted to dump Hazard the following turn, and we get to draw a card, so man, we don't want to draw a card though. Yeah, let's just play it. Alright. Sorry it took so long. And we attack. Always yield. Yes, give the energy, and we'll pass the turn. So if he wants to block, he can. We'll still get through for 3 damage. 2 damage after he gains one back. So we're still pushing damage here. An Orner Priest, okay. and then a Sacred Cat. That is really good for us because we get to just, swing, see what he puts in front of it. I assume it's just going to be a Sacred Cat. We will Chandra. Do we want to Chandra this turn, or do we want to Hazard it this turn? Next turn we can Chandra plus pitch. Yeah, let's Hazard it this turn. We can do it after combat. I'm highly interested to see what he puts in front of this anyway. Just the cat. So now there's an argument to Chandra, neg, kill this. I think so. Although, can't he just pay 4 to bring it back? He can bring it back next turn. Let's do the Hazard play so that we can, next turn just dump our hand, swing with Hazard. Yeah, it takes haste away from him, but again. And he scoops. So that was a game against cats, and they just scoop. Okay. We'll play one more and see where we go from there. All right. We won the dice roll. We can Ronus on 3. We don't have any other action, but we have land and we can play. I'm going to keep it. And this is a Ronus deck as well, so pretty much anything, any other creature we draw should go fairly well with Ronus. Not exactly the hand I would like to have on the play, but we'll see. The opponent's mulligan to 6. And we'll just pass here. I did, for those of you that are returning, I did fix the information bar at the bottom, so it no longer has like a streaming banner, but you guys can always know what music's being played at any given moment. Is this that new red-white deck, or is this just Marty Vehicles? Ooh, Scrap Heap Scrounger. Well, I think we play that. He gets another card under the Bowmat. He plays his 2-drop. We kill Bowmat? Maybe. Another Bowmat. No land? Okay. Well, this really makes me want to play Ronus Hydra and just race the Bowmats, because he did not play a land. That'll be 3. We'll be swinging for 8 next turn. Or do we just have to kill these Bowmats? He's got 5 cards in hand right now. If he gets a land and then he can start playing cards out of his hand and gets a chance to get these Bowmats, it could be bad for us. But I really want to get this pressure online. So we're going to do that. We're going to go for the race. And that brings us back to par on the race here, 17 to 17. And if he swings with both of these, next turn we'll get another really good crash in. The opponent says 24 lands in the deck. That ain't exactly how he said it, but 24 lands in the deck, no draws. Can't believe this game. That's the way it is sometimes. We've had it happen a lot on stream. And we'll see what he does here. So there's a Heart of Kiran. It's going to be a really good follow-up for us next turn. Or we could Hydra a Bomat. Harness Lightning a Bomat. I think we go Bristling Hydra. And then swing. Next turn we can Heart of Kiran, Harness Lightning something. He got a land. Well, we'll see where he goes from there. Again, these are in open queues, so he may just scoop it up. It's horrible. I mean, I hate losing that way, and it doesn't feel really gratifying when you win that way. But it does happen. So he's really fast deck. Bomat Couriers. I'm going to drop the Unlicensed Disintegration as it's a slower kill spell. And I think we're just going to try to stay as fast as possible. So we'll run it back like this. I like keeping in the blossoming defenses because if he does have, burn spells and things, we don't want him to point those at our smaller creatures. No harness. So now we may end up suffering the way the opponent just did. And then again, we may not. Alright, and a Braid on top. I actually think we can keep that on top. We've got a really good 2-mana hand. We can roll with this. We are going to Heart first, and then Voltaic Brawler. I want to get up in the air. We do have to pass back. Although Voltaic Brawler does stop him from swinging, however, it doesn't stop him from just burning my dude. At least if we Heart first, if he burns our creature, then we can crew in response. And then we'll just play the Heart and pass the land. Or pass the turn, pass the land. The deck's been a lot of fun, and again, it's really, really good against most of the decks that are kind of out to beat Teamer Energy. However, just the matchup against Teamer Energy right now is just horrible unless you're one of the other 3 Tier 1 decks. That's really good for us. A land off the top would be really good for us too. I need to read this. Oh, wow. That is an interesting card. Huh. Crew your Heart of Kiran and non-exert on-crop crasher. Can't believe I didn't know about that. Alright, this is our turn 3, so we'll play our Voltaic Brawler. We do have to spend some energy there. Now we can grab that energy back by burning this, and we can get one. At least crewing with the heart, we're not actually spending energy with on the Voltaic Brawler, and we're still getting in for 4. I just really love the idea of vehicles. The proper vehicle in your deck. It's going really good, Steven. We haven't lost yet, but the game with green white cats didn't technically go into game 3, did it? Or did we just crush him in game 1 or something? Because he ended up scooping up on us. But we haven't lost yet. We also haven't played Teamer Energy. Cast out. So if he spends 4 mana to cast out my Heart of Kiran, and we can draw a land off the top, oh, that's going to be nice. We're still racing with him really well here, especially since he's tapped out. We can harness lightning this Bomat Courier. Yeah, we'll yield to that. We don't care. Ooh, we did hit a land. Okay. So, wasn't a red land, but we're going to harness lightning Bomat Courier. Don't want him having that card draw. It gives us some more energy. So now we can play our Heart of Kiran, and we need at least 2 more. We have some. We'll use it. Evolving Wilds for the opponent. Well, I think we're winning this race. We should be. Voltaic Brawler is going to come in. It's going to give us 2 more energy. We're going to spend 2 energy next turn, casting Voltaic Brawler and the Braid. But we're also going to be swinging in for 8 points of damage, meaning that any of our remaining creatures can become... oh, wow. That's pretty good for us. So now we're casting a Braid on the Aether Sphere Harvester. I am going to go ahead and play the Voltaic Brawler so that I can crew. We'll let him tap and crew Aether Sphere Harvester for blocks. So we'll crew. And then we will declare attacks. All right, so he's going to go ahead and do it. Well, my Heart of Kiran can't block this turn. We'll say yes. We'll pay the red. We will destroy target artifact. And swing for the 8. And that's going to be game. So guys, that's the gameplay of my Jund energy deck. Jund Gods deck, Jund Vehicles, whatever you want to call it. It was just my take on Hazoret. I was really looking into a deck, and I was talking to my buddy Nick Kuzman. Shout out to you, buddy, for bringing Patrick Dickman's list to my attention. So I started taking the idea that I had with the Amonkhet top 16 deck that Patrick Dickman built, and we kind of just rolled with those, updated it to, you know, current standard, gave it, you know, the tools it needed to fight in current standard. And again, not a lot of cards from, you know, the current standard, as the deck is kind of that's the way energy is. It's everything that was printed in that block was just kind of, it's still there. It's all terrific, and I definitely think that even though a braid is a big part of the format right now, Sky Sovereign definitely back up on the radar. Love it, love it. It was savage to just take everything away from him there. But Steven, everyone else, thank you for coming out today. I hope you all have a really good Thanksgiving weekend, eating leftovers and everything else. For those viewers that are not in the United States and this is not a holiday weekend for you, I want to give my thanks to all of you for watching me as well, and I can only assume how hard it is to understand me with my accent. I commend you all for watching. That being said, happy Thanksgiving weekend to everyone. I had a lot of fun. I hope you had fun. Good luck tonight in Friday Night Magic. We'll see you next time here on the Sideboard.